Oh, hi guys, and welcome to Hopper's Motorsport Vlogs HQ. So, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a personal / bit of background vlog. Hopefully, it's going to be okay, and potentially people aren't going to mind my potentially vlog for this evening. So basically, it's just a bit of a personal and a bit of a story that happened coming up to 2 years now. Maybe no, it's coming up to a year, should I say? It happened 2 years ago. So I'm going to go through exactly what happened 2 years ago and potentially how I felt on potentially certain things. I'm just going to move the camera slightly. That's better. It's a lot better. So guys, as you know, Hopper's Motorsport Vlogs started in 2019, so it was 2 years ago. Well, it's coming up to 2 years this year. We started sort of January, sort of this time, so it's now 14th of February. And I was using it as a distraction to what was ongoing for potentially a couple of months, and potentially sort of like how can I put it, sort of a way of thinking, well, you know, my life's okay, etc. So 2019, as I say, Hopper's Motorsport Vlogs was starting. You know, we had the Snetterton vlog in, I think it was August, yeah, so it's the first weekend in August of 2019. So we had that, and we had obviously Hopper's Motorsport Vlogs essentially ongoing and potentially growing and growing and growing as it does, and as it does to this day. So obviously during that time I was going through quite a bit of potentially somewhat health wise, okay, to put it politely. So obviously, for those who don't know, I have a mum and I have a brother, and also I have obviously my dad. But my mum and my brother have a condition called multiple endocrine neoplasia type 1, but also known as MEN1. Okay, there's two types, there's type 1 and type 2, and type 1 is what my brother and my mum have. So obviously my mum's had the condition for quite a long time, and there was a chance that my brother and myself could potentially have the gene of multiple endocrine neoplasia passed on to us. So a few years ago, my brother Dave, I hope Dave doesn't mind me mentioning this for the YouTube and also for you guys, he started with cluster headaches, which kind of like you know, it was a really bad headache, and it was kind of really upsetting him, and it's kind of really affecting him down to earth, and you know, it's kind of really, he wasn't really 100% how he was feeling, and you know, he wasn't happy. Other behold, he gets told by the doctor he had, you know, it's just a headache, it'll go away. But obviously they weren't going away as such. So he thought, well, I want more answers, because this is doing my head in day to day sort of life, should I say. So obviously his life, and then he goes and has a scan. I don't know whether it was an MRI or a CT scan, I can't remember the difference. But you know, he went for a scan and they said he had a non-benign, non-cancerous tumour, should I say, on his pituitary gland, which is obviously up here. And they said it's potentially going to be, we'll do some more tests and it come back as having the condition multiple endocrine neoplasia type 1. So with that in mind, he got told, right, it's MEN1, and he said, he's told me, obviously told my mum about it, and my mum was like, well, I've got the condition, this and this. And I said, well, do you think Andy should get tested, aka me? And you know, my mum was like, yes, I think it's worth that Andy gets tested, because there's a chance he could have the gene inherited into him as well. And this is where it gets potentially, I'm not going to say hard, it's not going to get pretty, it kind of hit home, should I say. You know, it kind of didn't feel like, you know, it was me and it was, you know, I was going to go through it. I was obviously going through a patch saying, no, I haven't got MEN1, I haven't got the symptoms, I haven't got the condition, I feel fine, I feel exactly how I am. So I was kind of being like, how can I put it, being a bit of a dick, excuse the language here, but I was being a bit of a dick, and I felt like, you know, I haven't got it, why should I go and get tested, this and this? And you know, I was using Hopper's Motorsport Vlogs as the distraction, should I say, and I kind of kept myself in the teeth, and I thought, what an absolute knob, why am I doing this? So after so obviously 2018, when I got told about this is what was going on, and my brother was like, you're gonna have to go and get tested, mate, you know, you're gonna have to go and do it. You know, if you got it, you've got it. If you haven't, you haven't. Okay. So I stupidly put it off for 2 years. This was 2 years previous, so it was 2018. Excuse me. And you know, I went to go and talk to my doctor about potentially having a blood test. Which, okay, at the time, I didn't like needles, didn't like having blood tests. I didn't really want to go through it because I thought, you know, Jen, who's my partner, who's sat in the front room at the moment, was going to leave me if I had the condition, just in case me and her decide to have children. It could be potentially passed on to them. So I chickened out when I was talking to the doctor, because he's like, well, we'll do it here and there and now. I was like, mate, you're not going anywhere near me with a needle and trying to get blood out of me. So I have, for those who don't know, I have autism, and it brings a lot of anxiety anyway to the frame, and it potentially heightened the anxiety moment, should I say. And it did feel like, you know, I chickened out, and I potentially go away with Jen for breaks away for like our birthdays, you know, and potentially, you know, it's a bit of an escape route, and potentially not thinking about it and whatnot. So come 2019, 2 years ago, you know, it's getting more and more, getting pressures. Come on, mate, you need to know whether you've got it or not. And I was like, no, we're not doing this. No, I ain't got it. I don't care. Sort of attitude, you know. Obviously, still being a dick, you know, thinking, well, why the fuck should I do this? Potentially, you know. But you know, it soon come apparent, well, no, you're gonna have to get it done, mate, because if you don't know, then it leads to worse and worse. I remember going to Manchester with my brother to the genetic clinic, just in case I had to personally go myself, so I knew where I was going, etc. I remember talking about it to the consultant who was dealing with my brother, then had to deal with me. You know, we're on about exactly how it affects my brother and affects my mum, because my mum's side of the family wouldn't potentially don't want to know anything about it. This is probably going to kick me back in the teeth at some point, but you know, I'd rather talk about it now. So you know, so 2019 started off as Workbot Vlogs. I was putting it off, essentially just literally what's the word, potentially not, you know, not focusing on potentially getting the test, and potentially not slowly but surely not progressing with the test. And then I went to Manchester for a day out with Jen in September 2019, just the two of us. I thought it'd be nice, just a bit of me and her time, just because we both had a day together. I said to Jen, next time we're in Manchester, this was September 2019, you know, we're going to be back, we're going to be potentially going to the hospital to potentially go and get the test done. So I turned 30 2019, I'm actually 32 this year, so it's 2021 obviously now. So on my 30th birthday I got a letter inviting me to an appointment at the genetics clinic in Manchester, other behold, December. And I was like, I knew it hit home. I didn't let it spoil my birthday celebrations, but as time went on, so the end of all the rest of October, all through November and a bit of December, it was eating me up inside here. So obviously inside my stomach, it was eating me, and my anxiety was getting worse and worse. I was struggling at work, I was struggling at home. Jen and I weren't even living together at the time, and you know, I was losing sleep, I was not sleeping well, I was potentially on the verge of crying, thinking Jen's going to leave me, you know, she's going to leave me because I'm going to have this multiple endocrine neoplasia type 1. I'm going to have the condition, so she's going to leave me. And Jen kept telling me, and she still has told me to this day forward, she's not going to leave me. Okay, so other behold, we go to the appointment. I was happy about travelling down. I was having a bit of a laugh and a joke with Jen and my brother, so I was having a bit of a joke with Jen and Dave. And as soon as we got there, we were a bit late because we were struggling to park. As soon as we got into the waiting area of the genetics, I just crashed down. I crashed down into an almighty panic attack / anxiety attack. I was crying. I was like, I can't do this, I can't really do this, I want to go home. God, sorry. Absolutely. I don't know why I put myself through this. Sorry. It's okay. So, you know, I was literally wanting to go home. I couldn't do it, couldn't deal with the anxiety, couldn't deal with the fact is I could be living with multiple endocrine neoplasia. So I got into the room, I was talking to the consultant, and we were talking about the family, we were talking about my brother, we were talking about potentially Jen and I having kids, potentially if we had kids, that it could be passed on to them. And I said, right, okay, let's do it. Let's get a blood test done. You know, let's get potentially a blood test. Obviously, my left arm, this is my left arm. It's a good arm for having blood out, from what they were saying. Better than the right arm. And I was really not looking forward to having a blood test. So I was like, right, can I have some numbing cream or numbing spray? Because I don't like pain, I don't like needles. Yeah, I've had 2 teeth taken out. I'm due to have fillings this week, so I'm probably gonna have needles on. I've had a flu jab this year. I've yet to get a COVID jab. So, you know, a wuss that doesn't like needles and they'll have treatment. What? Yeah, exactly. So I was too nervous, couldn't get blood out of me. They're like, right, well, we're gonna give you a swab test then. And I was like, right, okay, that's better than having a needle stuck in my arm to get blood out. Okay, I laugh about it just because it shows how much of a wuss I technically am, or technically was. Excuse me. And so they did the swab test, and they said, right, February 2020, you probably get your results. So after the appointment, after they couldn't do the blood test and they did the swab test, I carried on December as normal. Other behold, January 2020, yes, okay, I say it like it's a disaster. January 2020, last year started okay. Jen and I have now lived together a year. But other behold, the day before, or 2 days before moving and living together, I went to my work's Christmas do. Okay, this is where it all stems. I went to my work's Christmas do, somehow got food poisoning, which wasn't very nice. Potentially, I wasn't really feeling well. I thought at first it was a bit because I had too much to drink, because obviously being a Christmas party, you like to enjoy yourself, don't you? But other behold, it was actually food poisoning. And the day before Jen and I started moving together and living together, yes, I was attached to a drip in A&E because of food poisoning. And I'm stupid. I feel like I'm stupid because I didn't obviously notice it was food poisoning. And obviously, at the time, they were like, we just want to check everything's okay, so we're going to have to do a blood test. And I'm like, blood test? No, you're not doing that. But they were like, no, we're going to have to do it because we need to make sure you're okay. So I was like, right. In my head, I was like, right, okay. So yes, I've had a blood test. After how many times I've chickened about having freaking blood tests. Due to MEM1. So I have a blood test because they had to check, make sure my liver, my kidneys, my all my internal organs were functioning correctly, obviously. Okay, I felt the blood test, it hurt a bit. But the worst pain was having a cannula, having the cannula here in my arm because I've had food poisoning. So someone who doesn't like needles, and someone who's had teeth taken out and potentially now a couple more fillings, and now a blood test, and now has a cannula, why did I chicken out? Well, I think that's because the anxiety took over that day. So, so obviously I was attached to a drip, I had a blood test, and the blood test was fine. Other behold, February comes around 2020, and I go for my results at Preston, so going to Manchester, and my brother's like, I don't think it's worth, you're going to have to have a blood test. I was like, well, so be it if I have to have one, because I've had one because of having food poisoning. And, I feel like this is why I feel like I'm a dick, because I should have had it done in Manchester, and I should have just thought, right, sod it, get it over and done with. You know the feeling. But I didn't, did I? So, I went into the consultant in the room, and she said, right, I've got some good news to tell you. You've got the all clear. You don't have MEM1, which to me is fantastic, guys. I don't have the condition, and I was really happy. But it comes at a price. It comes at a price of having sleepless nights, anxiety, thinking Jen's going to leave me, potentially worried for the rest of my life, thinking, well, what if I did have MEM1? How would I take my own life? How would my life be? Would I still think Jen's going to be with me or leave me? you know, it hurt, and that's why I got a bit emotional. And as you can imagine, I'm happy as Larry, and a year on, Jen and I together, I'm still MEM1 free, and you know, I'm living the dream, should I say. You know, as I say, Jen and I are living together, and potentially, you know, Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs is going on stronger. But yeah, let that be a lesson to you guys. You know, don't put things off in life because you start regretting it. I still, to this day, still lose a bit of sleep because, you know, I think, what if life had been like I had MEM1, you know, would I be still doing the vlogs and potentially stuff like that? So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. It's been a bit personal, I know, it's been a bit sweary, but you know, I hope there is some good feedback and potentially some likes as well. So if you like this video, guys, please do give it a massive thumbs up, and if you don't, give it a massive thumbs down. I'm not bothered. I'm here to take the rough with the smooth with the comments and potentially likes and dislikes, but you know, also do subscribe to the channel. Hopefully we've got some mega stuff coming very shortly, and thank you for listening. So take care, guys. Ta-ra.